good night. Did I say good afternoon already? Whatever. Yes, so I mentioned before that I would be doing an episode 1.5 to sort of react and review the rest of the features that have come in the 1.20 update. Now, I did a brief stream on Wednesday that I didn't even know the update had come out on that day. I hadn't planned to do a stream then. I hopped on, did one, explored a bit of the Blossom Forest, but I kind of didn't dive too much into the other features. I mentioned a couple of them, but I actually want to see them today. So I am in a creative world here. Random seed and whoa. I wouldn't mind doing a hardcore world here. And to be honest, they have... Oh. Now, I said this in the stream that I did before, but because they've now added hardcore mode, I think, to the game. I think it's an experiment, or if it's actually properly in the game, I might start a hardcore series mobile, but because I have controller, I can Bluetooth connect, and I can stream from that. And then on this sort of world here, this is Xbox, I use a console. This will be sort of main Sh4d0wCraft stuff. So you can follow here on Twitch if you're new. Been following for a while and you're what are they called? Not recent viewer. If you've been watching my stuff for a while, you know what I'm about, what I do. Anyone that is new here, however, I am also on YouTube under the same name and same icon, same spelling, everything, and that's also the same for Instagram and TikTok. So that's where you'll most likely find me on social media, and of course I'm here on Twitch. YouTube, I would say definitely check out, because it's got a lot of my past videos which link to the world I've been building on the console here, and it's kind of what I did before I converted to streaming, which I now basically do instead of videos where you would record and clip and edit and voice over. Streaming is a lot easier. It takes, in my opinion, less time, because obviously you can end the stream whenever you want. You can't edit it. Well, you can, but you'd have to edit afterwards. But that's the whole point of doing a stream. I don't edit it. It's easy to speak in mind and catch up with everything while you're speaking. You don't have to talk over the top of it. And I think it's more fun having a live reaction, because everything's a bit more up to date as well. So yeah. Yeah, we're going to be exploring all the new features of 1.20. As I said, I've explored a Blossom Forest already, but I will get into this at some point. I've got a list here of everything that I want to look at today. And hopefully once we've looked at everything, we'll know what to expect when it comes to the Sh4d0wCraft world. And again, I prompt you to look at the other stream I did the other day, because that's on there. And again, for context of that world, feel free to check out the YouTube channel. It will explain a lot. This seed is absolutely amazing, but this is completely randomly generated. This is amazing. Yeah, so coming back to hardcore. If I do a hardcore world series, and I was planning to do it every month basically, I will want to use this seed. I'm going to screenshot this or save it somehow, and I'm going to use it in a hardcore world if I start one. Because this is just sick. It's like a whole valley in the mountains. Oh, it's outside as well? This truly is amazing. But yeah, I absolutely love the blossom trees. They really are amazing, and to be honest, I think they're my favourite feature of the game, other than one of the mobs that we're going to get onto in a minute. I love that now we have pink leaves and actually pink wood as well, so this stuff turns into pink planks. I do like the sort of very darkened, almost purple sort of bark texture as well. It's going to make for some interesting gradients and textures. And we've also got bamboo blocks now as well, so they act as a form of wood, I guess. If we just find ourselves a nice little place to go and sit down and get started on this thing. If I can find myself a nice little flat bit of terrain where I can maybe get started on what I want to talk about today. Let's pop down here. So I bet I'm going to go in the order of my list that I've got here. Oh, and if you don't know what I look like, then this is me. Anyone that's new here. Hope you like my skin. And obviously with 1.20 there might be new achievements as well, because obviously we've got all the new mobs and the new biomes and things, which means there may be new things for unlocking on your skin. I haven't checked capes yet, but there might be new capes as well. I know there's definitely new default skins too, so that would be good for some people. So the first thing I want to check out is the camel. Now, these are one of the new mobs added to the game, and they're essentially... I've just seen that. We'll get onto that in a minute, and I did actually vote for the sniffer when the vote came out, and that's also a video that's on YouTube. Camels come to Minecraft. So, yes, now we've got camels, and they look a bit like llamas. I think they're a bit taller, and I'll get a llama just for comparison as well. If I can find... That's a goat. So that's Lotto. Dog Alley. Wait, that's new. Oh, they said this. They've updated the creative menu as well. Because what you didn't used to be able to do is spawn iron golems like this. That's sick. Yes, that's a really good update actually. I like that a lot. That's going to make creative testing a lot easier. Because what you would used to have to do is obviously build up the iron golem with a pumpkin and, of course, a carved pumpkin and iron blocks. But yes, what we're looking for is the camel. So if I actually go ahead and type in here, you may have seen some of the new blocks there already. Now, there's some people in the audience again who may have played this already, but this is kind of my reaction, my take on it. I may have some different opinions, but yeah, we'll see. Camel, if I go like that, oops, there we go. Also, it's a very yellow one, and actually I will again get a llama for comparison for size. Llama. Okay, so this is a llama, fairly small as you can see. And then this is a camel, much larger. Okay, and their neck is actually slightly different. So their neck actually comes out, up and across, rather than just attaching to their body. And I do believe you can actually ride them as well. If I grab a saddle, I should be able to mount you. Oh, you know what would be really cool? Oh, that looks sick! It looks completely different from the horses on pigs, but obviously because it's got a hump. You don't usually ride a hump on a camel, but this is Minecraft, so yeah. But I like how, yeah, I really like the saddle design on this. It's really cool. And then, okay, so they're not particularly fast, but they are camels, so fair enough. This is the sprinting motion. And oh, look, their little ears flap! Their little ears flap! You see it? Look, their little ears flap. Watch. Watch. Yes! Oh, the little ears flap. That's amazing. It looks so happy as well. It looks like he's smiling. Or she's smiling, I'm not sure. Ah. These are going to be my new favourite animal in the game. I'm going to get one of these for a pet. Obviously, I'll let the comments name it, but these are my new favourite animal. Oh, and I'm not actually riding the... Oh, I was right, yes. So in real life, obviously, you don't ride on the hump on a camel. And as you can see here, I'm not on the hump. I'm in front of it. So what I'm guessing is that you can actually get 2 players on this thing, which I don't think you can do on any of the other mobs. You couldn't get 2 players on a horse or a pig. So to be able to get 2 players on one mob, I think that's pretty good. That's really sick. I love. Yeah, this is going to be my new. So far, this is my favourite edition. I might have others, but so far this is my favourite, and I'm actually going to let all of these just roam around. I'm not going to kill any of them because, well, they're beautiful. I've lost my I've lost a page. Why has that happened? Give me 1 second. I've lost the page of everything that I had the updates on. Everything new in 1.20. There we go. It's just what I've called my notes page. Oh, yes, the next mob, the next big one, the one I nearly covered already, but I didn't. The Sniffer, and this is the mob that I actually voted for in the mob vote. We'll get some of this stuff later as well. But yeah, these are essentially dinosaurs, and it was teased in the, I think it was 1.18 or 1.17, archaeology was coming to the game. And we've had to wait about 2 or 3 years later. It is now finally here, and the Sniffers, from what I heard, technically count as dinosaurs. That is a massive egg. It's half the size of me! That's massive! I bet that would taste nice. Actually, would the yolk and stuff be like green and red? That's massive though! Wow! Wait, a hostile mob's not attracted to it? Okay, so I guess these can't be used for farms. If the... Is there... Oh, these could be interesting for design patterns, actually. I wonder if you bone meal them if they grow. If I give... bone meal... Does bone meal work? Because from what I heard, they actually... No. What do sniffers eat? From what I've heard, the sniffers actually dig up seeds for the player to pick up, as they are a passive mob, essentially acting as dinosaurs. They're like a giant turtle, but with 6 really short, stumpy legs and a massive snout. And that's how they sniff up seeds and things from the ground. So why I just go through here, and then sniff should just be enough. So here's the actual spawn egg. As you can see, it's rather the same colour as the eggs. And... Jesus Christ, you're massive! Whoa! Oh, your little nose goes! Look, watch. We're gonna watch. Watch the little nose, watch. Oh, yes, I did it again! Are you gonna dig up something? Please dig up something. Please, I want to get it on camera. Please! Dig something up! Are you gonna do it? Oh. Yeah, look, 6 little short stumpy legs, and it's got it under sort of this curtain of fur. And this is a really cool mob design. I think it's the first mob that I've seen that has actually like proper, sort of very textured palette and well, texture, which is pretty sick. I mean, compared to other mobs, it is very blocky and extremely large as well. And I think it might be the largest passive mob in the game. currently I'm not that... Oh my god, the llamas lie down! The camels lie down! That's so... Oh, they lie down in real life. How did little ears went? Oh, this is so cute. Look, right, camels are definitely... Oh, he gets up as well. Oh, the animation's quite cool as well. Oh, you are going to be my favourite mob in the game now. I love you so much. Yeah, we'll put the sniffer in a second, because currently it's not really doing anything with the seeds. But, yeah, they are quite cool. They're like giant turtles. I think there's a bush on its back, but it's kind of... Whoa. Well, that's weird to see. I guess it's kind of like a living plant. Or... How to explain this? It's sort of like an animal, or like a turtle, like a prehistoric turtle, has essentially hibernated, but as time's gone, plants are things that have attached itself to its shell or its skin, giving it this some sort of grassy effect, whereas the red wool, I imagine, is the actual wool of the original creature. Now, what I'm hoping in the future, maybe, if it does ever happen, is that somehow we can harvest the colours or the wool or the, well, whatever this is, off of the sniffers, and it would be really cool to see, now, well, how when you shave sheep, they have like little underwear on. I wonder if that would happen with sniffers, if you could harvest this type of wool or this fur off of them. I think that would be a really cool thing. Now, I don't think the sniffer eggs are going to hatch anytime soon, so I am just going to break them quick. Yeah. So if I just get rid of them. So yeah, that was the sniffer, the mob vote winner, and quite possibly one of the best sort of leading into another category updates of the game, which is archaeology, of course. So the new biomes are, well, just the cherry blossom biome, which is the one that we're in right now. And yeah, it is absolutely beautiful. And actually, while we're here, I will just show some of the new wooden stuff we can do. Some of the new wooden stuff. So we now have pink planks, pink doors. I mean, the stairs are going to be the same as this. But I mainly want to look at the things that are going to have sort of different effects, such as doors and trapdoors. And actually, while I'm here, I am just going to grab the bamboo stuff as well, because now bamboo can actually be turned into a block. And what I've actually noticed, I don't know if you've seen this yet already, but the scaffolding actually appears more yellow now because of the bamboo update. It's more of a colour match. I think, I don't know if I'm right or not, this could just be me, but I think the scaffolding was a bit more dull before on the yellow side. Now it feels brighter because of the update. It may be just my eyes deceiving me, but I think it is because of the bamboo blocks. Anyway, we'll get to the bamboo in a minute. But yeah, what I want to check out currently is all the new sort of pink wood. And if we head over to here and pop into here, we can actually get these stripped and normal log versions. And I'll actually grab the full bark versions as well, and these stripped ones. So this all looks insane, because I personally have always wanted another... It's not that I really wanted another type of wood, but I feel like we're kind of limited to very brown and orange colours. So I'd always thought it would be nice to have some more, maybe brighter colours, or yellowy things like that. And obviously now we've got the bamboo and the blossom wood, which is pink, which is awesome. It's going to be awesome for candy houses, candy villages, really pretty, nice houses, but also, again, some really interesting gradients and textures and details. This probably will also be used in a lot more sort of fleshy sort of structures as well. And actually, if we head over here, it's the same colour as the pig. Not entirely, but I think on the very lighter shades it somewhat is. So that in itself is really, really cool. Next we have the doors. So these are quite nice. The handle, it makes it feel shorter because the window takes up most of it. But I don't think it is. It is the same height as the other doors. I think so anyway. If I just grab another door, again my eyes may be deceiving me. I'm pretty sure it's the same height. Yeah, it's the same height, it's just that the window takes up most of it and the handle's lower down so it appears shorter. You see what I mean? The trapdoors are... they look a bit like a crafting table. I do like this sort of crossing design though. Very, very nice. And actually, I want to see what this looks like on the light source block. Especially with the different coloured lanterns that we now have. So mixing pearlescent and this may work quite well in lighting up certain structures. That looks pretty cool by itself. And I imagine that if you did it with maybe a redstone lamp as well, and maybe a night thing on top, it would also look pretty cool. So next we obviously have the log, and all of these are over here. I will actually grab a sapling in a minute and grow it, just because I want to see if there's a variation in the trees. Obviously they all look different, but I want to see... I don't know if there is bigger versions or smaller versions or medium ones. I also want to see if you can put a flower next to them and if they'll grow with a beehive or they just naturally spawn. This is one without the bark. It's a slightly darker tone or shade of pink than this. I think this is more accurate to the pigskin than this is, and it does make sense that the inside is lighter, so yeah. And then we also have the fully sort of bark but also unstripped one, which again, texture, gradient, all of that is going to be amazing for it. And so will this. It's a much darker wood type, which allows it probably to fit in with nether brick and things like that quite nicely, but also the texture is really interesting as well. So that would be really cool to play around with at some point. Of course, I'm going to go ahead and grab some saplings as well. And the saplings, by the way, just look amazing as well. Kind of reminds me of a bonsai tree, which I'm hoping will be added to the game at some point, because that would just be awesome. But yeah, so the little saplings here remind me of bonsai trees somewhat. Obviously they're pink and they're blossom trees, they're not bonsai trees, but there is some sort of resemblance or similarity, if you can see what I mean, if you look at the little icon in the actual inventory bit. But yeah, I just want to see if there is actually varying sizes between these, and also whether they can grow next to something or not. So I'll put one down there. And it does actually look like they need to grow away from something. So we're going to test how far that is. Okay, so we're going to mine out everything diagonally as well. So this is 1 block away. Oh, so it needs to be 1 block away from something for it to be able to grow. So I'm guessing this is a somewhat smaller tree because it's only got 1 sort of stem going upwards. If we do another one, hopefully we'll get a different sized one with a couple more branches. And I want to see, I doubt there is, but I want to see if, like spruce and a couple other trees, if you can place them in a pattern of 4 and they will grow into something. So 1, 2, 3, 4. No. So they can only grow 1 block away from something, and they only grow once like that. And the fact that they actually sprout almost 2 trees is amazing as well. Now the next bit I want to talk about is these. These are amazing too. Again for decoration, especially in sort of flower forest now as well. You can definitely spice up the place a little bit. And I also want to see, when I get back into survival, it's kind of just like a reviewing and reaction stuff. I want to see if this can be placed on other surfaces, not just grass. I also want, actually they can be picked up because I have a bunch in my inventory back at the base. Again, you can check out the last stream that I did, it will be on there. If I can just find, it's not in the seed section, but you know what is in here? Some of the other new plants, and I will just grab them quick. What else? The blossom things. I can't appear to find them in the inventory section. They may be in the flower bits. Yeah. And these are the other two things as well. So basically these I think are made from these falling bits and they spawn over time somewhat. They'll also occur naturally as well, or just like spawn in like they have here in the world. But I think the more you place on a block, it's like sea pickles actually, yeah. So you place 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's the maximum you can place. I'm trying to place more, but you can't. So the maximum you can place is 4. And I actually like how it doesn't make the flowers bigger, but rather grows around the original ones. I think that's really nice. And actually now as it gets dark, this is a perfect opportunity to show off the new flowers. So, oh, we can't actually place, they don't go on the ground. Where do they go then? Okay, this is a torch flower and it's one of the new plants in the game. Now, it is called a torch flower, but for some reason it doesn't appear to give off light. Again, this is going to be great for decoration and houses and things like that, but if it's a torch flower, then why doesn't it give off light? That's the only thing I'm thinking right now. Next we have the pitcher plants, and I think this is based off a plant in real life. It's essentially somewhat looks the same. They're sort of like big bulbous plants that have a hole in the middle, and in that hole there is like the sticky sweet substance that attracts flies and insects and things. They fly into the sort of mouth or the gullet of this thing, which is the bulbous hole. They eat the stuff, but they get stuck and they essentially can't fly out and get digested in the acidic acid of the plants, and the leaf on top actually comes down. And they have somewhat replicated the design here, and it is quite trippy to walk around as well, because if you look, see this bit here on this left side, that goes out like that, right? But as soon as you walk around this side, it comes down. It's almost like two different sides of the plant, and it does that all the way around. It's really weird. I don't know why I can't place them. It's quite odd. I'll probably figure that out in survival. I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know why you can't place them. That's odd. Do you need to like drop them or? Okay, that's odd. Well, the other ones are the full-grown ones, so yeah. I wonder if they need to be placed in a specific place. But again, reaction review, not the total sort of thing. Archaeology. Here we go. Yes. So this is quite possibly my favourite part, aside from the mobs. The archaeology update. So if we head over to here, you may see that we now have a brush. And this brush can be used on a certain type of block, if I can find it. That's sand. Does it have to be a certain type of sand? Gravel. Let's see. I think it has to be a certain type of sand or gravel that you can't actually find in the creative menu. I mean, I'll search for it, but I don't think it's here. Oh, no, it is here. Right. So it's called Suspicious Sand, and I'm guessing there's sus gravel as well. Sus sand and sus gravel. Sand is very sus. Just type that in. There we go. And these will essentially look different to the sand and normal gravel blocks. As you can see, the texture's slightly off. I'm guessing they're a bit harder to spot. I think these can only be found in desert temples, and these somewhere else, I'm not entirely sure. But with these, essentially what you can do is grab a brush and it will reveal something. If it wants to. But there won't always be something inside, or you won't always get something valuable. It doesn't appear to be working best currently. And I think it's because these are creatively spawned blocks. But essentially what this means is you can now collect sort of ancient artifacts. And if I can just pop into the menu now, I can find them. And they are down here. So there's a bunch of different shards now that you can grab. And essentially every time you grab one of these, or you grab certain pieces, I believe you can either imprint them onto here or it makes one of these. And now we actually have another use for clay, which is to make these decorated pots, which are, I think, made of clay. But also, I think, like banners, which is why they're in the same section, these things can be decorated with these several patterns that you can find, and I do believe that they are either found in chests or in the sus sand and sus gravel in certain places in the world. So this will make one of the challenges I have myself coming up a bit harder, but a whole lot more fun, because I'm going to have so many new things to collect. It will certainly be challenging though. And alongside that, we actually have all of the new armor trimmings. So essentially, these are a way to make your armor look a bit better or somewhat upgrade it. I don't believe you can do it to tools, I think it's just armor. I don't think it actually adds any sort of damage or protection. It just makes it look cooler. However, the only sort of big change with this is with netherite armor now, you can only upgrade from diamond to netherite with a very specific one of these, which is the netherite upgrade smithing template, which is found in bastions. Now, I'd seen in experimenting and testing that these could be duplicated with diamonds. I don't know if there's actually canon to the game, so I will have to test it if I find one of these, and it will have to be in an area that I haven't previously explored as well. I don't actually know where you find any of these, so it will be a bit of an adventure when it actually comes to it. But at some point I will have all of these in possession in survival, and it will be on video as well. This is something else I want to try and collect all of these. And if they can be dupes, that's amazing, but if they can't, it's going to be a much, much bigger challenge to do. So I'm actually going to grab the... I think this is one of the rarest ones here. And depending on what... It's kind of weird how these work. So I think they all apply to different biomes or different areas in the world. This one obviously is netherite and it doesn't really have an armor ring. But these ones are ingots and crystals. So these will have a different colour compared to the other ones. So every single one has a different colour, but they also all have completely unique designs on the armor, and you can actually put multiple different designs on multiple different bits of armor. And I think depending on what armor you have, obviously there'll be a bit of color clash. Also, it will look insanely cool. Netherite I think is going to look the best though, because it is close to black. And I think I'll go ahead and grab, maybe we'll get rid of this quick. I grab maybe at least one of all of them. So actually I'll grab the... and they are stackable items as well. I'll grab one from every sort of faction. And I'm guessing the ones at the end are the hardest ones to get. I will also grab an anvil quickly. Just because I'm imagining I need one of them. And we are going to go ahead and test this armor here. If we head over this way, I don't know why I got a broken anvil. We pop this down here, we're going to chuck that in there. Doesn't use an anvil. Oh yes. So another partially, not quite so big, and actually we'll get into those in a minute. Bit is the fact that you now use the smithing tables for these sort of upgrades as well. Whereas before it just used to be for netherite, it can now be used for armor, as you can see. So if we put one of them in, and then you put your armor in. Oh, I just realised something. So the colours don't actually come from the upgrades, they come from the ingredient you put in. So I think this is any sort of resource that's remotely close to valuables, including amethyst. Depending on what you put in, that colour then is imprinted on the armour, but with the pattern of the sort of upgrade. So if I actually grab, I think we're going to grab purple because it is one of my colours. We'll go ahead and grab the amethyst. And we'll do a little bit of a demonstration here. So what I do believe you need is the actual shards, if I can find them. I wonder if that works. We're going to grab one of them as well, just because it might. I'm not entirely sure it will. And also one of these. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and shove this one in here first. On the... I think we'll save this one for the chest plate. No, this one, sorry, this one for the chest plate. We chuck the helmet in there, and then chuck in the... Okay, so they won't go in there because they're not an ingredient, but these will go in. And as you can see, it actually looks rather cool, especially when you put it on as well. You can see, it's hard to see with my skin, but if you can look really carefully, you can actually see purple trimming around the top, which is what the rest of this armor does. And again, what I've just realized is instead of the upgrades determining the color, you yourself can determine it. It's just the upgrades determine the pattern which spills down it, which is also pretty cool. So you do have actually a bit of selective choice with the armor that you're going to create. So if I, of course, go ahead and do a bit more, if we do the chestplate next with this armor upgrade, I will need to grab a couple more amethyst shards quickly. So one of them, and then one of these. And this is the silencer one. This already looks amazing. I'm loving this so much. And obviously, you can actually mix the different armor trimmings as well. So what I was saying before about duping, which I'm hoping exists, is that with the armor trimmings, kind of explaining what I was saying, you could have this one on every single piece of armor, or you could have a different trimming on every single piece of armor, all in different colours. And if duping is a thing, that's going to make it a lot easier. So I really do hope it is a thing when it gets into survival, but we'll just have to see. Besides, that is also one of the coolest updates we have, just because of customization and things like that. Yeah, so armor trims, just covered that. And now we can get on to bamboo. Yes, the other new block in the game. So bamboo is, well, now can be made into blocks, and I believe it's 9 bamboo in a crafting table. It's literally just this stuff. And essentially, I think what it does is it shaves off the skin and shows the yellower insides of the bamboo, which is pretty cool. And there's another thing, because of the bamboo sort of update portion, you can now get bamboo rafts. Oh, I forgot to cover the boats. But you can also now get bamboo rafts with chests and just normal ones as well. And I do believe these are also 2-player rideable ones. I will need to head over to some water places down. If I can find maybe just a tiny bit of water somewhere. So, sorry if you can hear that noise. It is the fan going off on the Xbox, because my annoying brother, this really is an amazing seed. My brother decided that he would play on it all afternoon, so literally from 1 o'clock to about 1 hour ago he was playing on it, which means that it's now having to cool off, which makes this stream partially dangerous because the game might crash. So if I actually pop down a raft, I can't place it down, that's really annoying. I'm going to have to make my own water source, so if I just pop back out of here quickly. This is a truly amazing seed though. This is so cool. Yeah, if we head back out of here, I'll of course go ahead and find sort of water, some sort of water based part that I can chuck this down at. This really is amazing. No, that's the inside. I need to go to the outside. Wait, what's the outside and what's the inside? I'm trying to figure out what the outside of the valley is. I think this is the inside, yeah. If I head over this way, I should be able to get out. Yep, look, there's water there. If we chuck ourselves down here, I should be able to just pop this thing in some water and test out. So if we pop that there, oh actually it's quite small. It's roughly the size of the boat, and yeah, I forgot to check out the cherry, it's called the cherry boat? Yeah, because they're cherry blossoms. This cherry boat, we've also got the chest boats for both. These are actually called rafts instead, and I think that's because they have no walls on the boats. They seem to work just like boats. See what they look like in third person. Second person. The armor looks insane, by the way. Yeah, as you can see, they do work rather well, and I think the actual layout and build of the raft is quite cool as well. It's almost like the walls have just been folded down, and it does look really cool. And I do believe these are actually 2-player rides as well, so that's cool. And then we've got the actual blocks too, so if we just pop back into first person and over this way, we've got the blocks here, which you can see, and then we've actually got a couple more things, I think, with the bamboo. Obviously we've got stairs and slabs and things like that. Obviously they'll be the same texture as that, but because we actually have 2 bamboo blocks instead of 1, as you can see, I think there might be variation in the stairs and slabs too. The main thing I want to check out, like with the cherry blossom wood, I want to see the trapdoors and just regular doors, because of the new textures. Now this is actually pretty cool. I like a little window on the door. This is really nice. And now let's see the trapdoor. Actually, the door, as you can see, doesn't have this sort of running effect of bamboo, whereas I think, yeah, this one doesn't have either, but these almost seem like netting. This almost seems netted, the door and the trapdoor. So again, textures and things like that, it's going to be amazing for that. If we move on to is there anything else new? I'm basically just going to go quickly through every section of here and check if there's anything else new that I've missed. Nothing there. I think there is some more stuff we can look at though. Yes, there's one more, well, a couple more things. Something that's been in Java, which is the other version of the game if you don't know, for a while, is banners on shields. But now, because of the 1.20 update, and because Minecraft has slowly been sort of pulling Java and Bedrock closer together, we've now got hardcore spectator mode. We've now got banners on shields, which was a long time Java thing, but now we've actually got them in the game, which allows for very custom shields. I'm guessing you can put them on other mobs as well, and I think that also works for the armor trimmings too. But I'm basically just going to grab a very plain one here. I'm not going to really mess around making some sort of coloured one. Obviously in the game I can make a coloured one and my own unique one, which I will do because I want to make my own sort of in-game Minecraft logo with the banners, and I'll be able to put that on my shield as well. If I go grab a shield actually first, there we go. Pop over to here. Should just be able to chuck that there, chuck that there, and as you can see, although they're not in the creative recipe, I can actually have it on hand and made in creative, but also in survival, and depending on what banners you have, obviously it'll look a bit better. Now that looks pretty sick already, and I'm really happy with that actually. So yeah, again, I will make my own sort of in-game Minecraft logo for the channel and myself, and actually any suggestions by you guys would be great as well. Yeah, this looks really cool, and depending on what colours I add, it may actually somewhat match the armour that I'm wearing. So that's the banners and shields. Then we have the hanging signs, which is something else I saw earlier. And along with hanging signs, we're also going to check something else out. So hanging signs obviously come in all the wood variants, even the new ones such as cherry blossom and bamboo signs. We're going to go ahead and grab this, and some other bits as well. I do actually need some blocks for it to hang from, so I'm going to grab, say, some birch planks. This isn't going to look particularly pleasant. Actually, I'll grab some walls because I think it will look better. So if we go ahead and maybe like build one there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then build one out, Maybe one out again. And now, I do believe we can actually hang signs and write stuff on them. Now, I've actually had problems with signs before where the text wasn't fully printing out onto them, but I think this has been fixed. It may have been a bug. But these do look pretty cool, and these will definitely make a difference for certain buildings such as taverns and hotels and things like that. And a lot of other design. I bet there's people out there that think of ways to use things such as this not in the way that are intended to, but so cleverly in design. And I bet there is someone out there right now doing that. And it's because of people like that I want to build stuff in the game. Yeah, I guarantee someone's going to find a way to use this in a way that it's not purposed for. And actually, without even going too far, this does actually already look a bit like a 2D bag. And obviously with different colours, it will look like different coloured bags. So although this might be used in a shop building on the outside, it could also be used in an item frame or as like a little icon for a bag or something. You see what I mean? And then we've also got these here. Now these are chiseled bookshelves. I think they're called chiseled bookshelves. Yeah. And the difference between these and... I actually want to check something as well. The difference between these and regular bookshelves is that now you can actually take books out and put them back in. And with these, you can also actually make some rather interesting patterns. Now, what I find odd about these, and you may have seen it too already, is that they have the Allays face in them. Or what's the thing from? It looks a bit like Kirby actually as well. Little eyes. See what I mean? It looks a bit like Kirby or the Allay. But what you can actually do with this is, of course, go chuck books in. And you actually have to click in certain places, otherwise they don't place properly. And as you can see, in that certain place, the book will always stay the same colour. Just like that. Now what I want to test is, will it work with enchanted books and will it still show the glow? And will it work with book and quill? So it does work with enchanted books, but it doesn't keep the glow. However, obviously when you go to take them out again, they stay as enchanted books, as I expect they would, which is really good. And it does also work with book and quill, so I actually have now a way to put all of you guys in my library subscriber area, which is like a massive library that I've been building for a while, and I want to put names of everybody in it who's followed me so far on any sort of platform, and I'll have like different sections for the different platforms of social media, just because I want you guys to be part of the world. And then maybe one there, and one there, and one there, and one there. Do you like my tower? It's definitely a tower, nothing else. Definitely a tower, nothing else. As you can see, it's a lovely tower. If you think it's something else, a lot of you probably will, then good for you. Also, just quickly want to say, happy Pride Month as well. I forgot to mention it at the start of the video, but it is indeed Pride Month. It is the 10th of June, so we're 10 days in. But yeah, June is Pride Month, so be yourself, be proud of yourself, and don't ever let anyone take that away from you. Okay, so just a nice positive message there. So yeah, so chisel bookshelves. The creative menu, as I said already, has actually been updated with the spawn eggs that we now have, including the iron golems and things like that. I didn't actually check to see if you can get the where are the spawn eggs? I didn't check to see if you could get the Ender Dragon or things like that. I don't believe you can yet, no. You can't get the Ender Dragon with it yet, but I'm guessing they'll be added at some point. Tools, utility. Apparently there's something else here that's been updated as well, if I just read through this. So we now actually have light blocks in the commands. Obviously we had barriers already. We have better mob heads apparently. Oh yes, another big thing. So a lot of the sort of more technical people and people that play around with music in the game are also going to love this as well. Obviously they've probably checked it out themselves already. But if I grab some mob heads. What? That's new. Piglin heads. Yes, this is amazing. Right, I'm gonna chuck this on just quick instead of my head piece. That looks really weird with my skin. But yeah, we've now got piglin heads. That's sick. Get in. Yeah, but I guess you can get them with charged creepers like you do with the others. So we're actually going to go ahead and place down some note blocks here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if we go ahead and put a mob head on each of these, just like this. Oh, there we go. They should make varied sounds. So if I actually turn this volume all the way, I'm not going to talk for this because I want you guys to be able to hear it. But here we go. So they actually make the sounds of the mob. That's really cool. Oh, this could be so good on multiplayer. For setting up traps and things and jump scares. If I do ever get back on an SMP or on multiplayer, I'm definitely using this to my advantage. These could also be used as sound effects for any sort of mini games and things as well. But also, people that, like I said before, people make music with the note blocks in the game, like actual real life songs. And I'm guessing this will solve some of the problems with creating tunes and beats as well. That's pretty cool. That might be my new doorbell. Because now, yeah, obviously with these we can make doorbells. And I've got a bunch of this is going to be great for multiplayer, especially this one. But yeah, these I've got a bunch of, actually these as well, because I can just farm them, whereas the others I can't really. Did you see that? It blinked. My head blinked. Do it again. Do it. I could have sworn it just blinked. I'm going to watch and pause. Definitely just saw it blink. Do it again. Go on. Blink. Unless I didn't see it blink and my eyes were just playing tricks on me again. Probably didn't. Right. That's a zombie. And now we've got Steve. I think this is the only head you can't actually get in survival, because it's your own, and it's, well, it's not your own unless you're playing as Steve. But there's no noise. Oh, it doesn't work with Steve. It only works with mobs. I guess the Steve one would be ooh! It's their dying sound. Yeah, so yeah, it's only mob hebs. Oh, there's another big thing I forgot about Redstone. They've changed from the skulk sensors. If I can find... Where is this? Yeah, so we now actually have these, and I've... very well known YouTuber called Mama Jumbo did a video on these at some point in the last month. But they essentially detect... I think these are just made by combining a amethyst crystal and a skulk sensor. They're called calibrated skulk sensors. And their vibrations are based on their frequency level. So I think it means that they give a certain output or need a certain input to give a certain output, whereas the original skulk sensors didn't really care about that so much. So yeah, this is a really cool addition. I'm not really technical with redstone, but I think these will come in handy for secret doors and things like that. Yeah, so we've mentioned this already. There's a harder time obtaining netherite tools and armor and things because of the smithing table and the upgrades and things like that. So instead of, yes, you will still need to create netherite ingots, but alongside that you also need an upgrade. I think netherite one can only be found in bastions. It's a bastion remnant, yeah. And you need one for every item upgrade. And again, I hope they can be duped with diamonds and things. I really do. And actually, tell you what, I'm going to go test that now. Because if they can't, it's going to be disappointing. But also a bit more challenging to do. If I grab some diamonds, and actually also I will grab some of this. If I grab a crafting table as well, we're going to see if we can dupe this. There's also fill biome command changes as well, and there's fixed mob spawning in nether portal. Jukeboxes now produce a redstone signal depending on the disc playing in it, so I think that's a bit like the calibrated skulk sensors. Depending on the inputs, the output is either stronger or weaker, depending on what disc you put in. And I think it's because of how loud or how high-pitched or how low-pitched the music is, it will give off higher and lower frequencies in the redstone. We're going to go ahead and test this. If it doesn't work, then it's going to be a bit more of a challenge in survival. If it does work, then I'll be happy. It doesn't work. Okay, so I've been lied to by some people. So you can't actually dupe these. Okay, that's annoying. So you will actually I haven't tried it with the ingots. Yeah, you can't dupe these. They have to be found. So it does make it a bit harder, especially if you want to get every one. Especially the rarest ones. I mentioned this already, but there's new default skins as well. And I'll actually pop out onto the skin menu when I get a chance to. So it's spectator mode and hardcore mode. Again, I'll check that out in a minute. I'll probably start a hardcore world in a minute on here, just a temporary one. So apparently Bedrock is getting one of the most unique major vanilla updates ever in Minecraft, which is the editor mode. and this allows you to build more easily and quickly by painting with blocks. This way you're able to create big builds in a matter of minutes. You can also select some parts of the world, duplicate them, and then start pasting them around. Oh, this is another Java thing. I don't know if this is definite, but for a while now Java has had this thing in creative worlds where they do massive builds called a wand, which is essentially a wooden axe that you can use to copy and paste and also fill things as well. So I wonder if that's what it's talking about. So that would be super duper cool, especially for big creative sort of speed builds, or just planning builds in your world as well. Oh, another big thing as well. So, something updated with the actual player is another thing that's been in Java for a while, and you can see a repeating theme here. A lot of Java features are now being inputted into Bedrock, and the feature I'm talking about is, of course, sneaking and crawling. Now, this was achievable in Bedrock before the update as well, but you can only really do it before, either with an elytra or with a water source. Now what you can do... Oh, at least crouch. Why is it not working? I may be wrong with this. So apparently crawling speed is the same as sneaking. I need to be in a 1 block gap. I am in a 1 block gap. Maybe in Java you can just... I don't understand, cause yeah, in Java you can literally... No. You can literally just go like this and you'll be under the thing. I am still having a little bit of struggling understanding that, but apparently crawl is now in sort of the same fashion as Java on Bedrock as well. I haven't seen it working yet though. Oh, and also another thing, again running theme with Java, in Bedrock now you'll see little tabs on the top right or top left, or depending on where it comes out, on your screen for advancements that you make throughout the game, instead of getting the sort of... Well, you'll still get the emblem at the bottom, or the notification, but you'll actually get little scrolls that come across at the top, and it will tell you what you've done. I'm hoping it also gives you that chart of advancements as well that they give you in Java. I think that'd be really cool to see. And also, we've also now got /camera, /damage, and /fill biome. No, sorry. So we've also got /camera in Bedrock Edition, which allows you to move the camera. And that is actually about it. So the update came out on June the 7th, which was... This is amazing seed. I am definitely going to put this in a hardcore world. That's just about everything, apart from the other bits we're going to check out. But, yeah. It came out on June the 7th, which was Wednesday, and it's available on Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, iOS, Android, Windows, Chromebook, Mac OS, and Linux, or Linux. And it's only Java and Bedrock Edition. So that's... I've pretty much covered everything that I want to review and react to today. And honestly, I cannot wait to get into all of this in survival. It's just going to be amazing. However, what I'm just going to quickly do is save and quit, And I'm of course going to go ahead and make a very test. I'm going to make a testing world where I can see if hardcore mode has actually been implemented. Just going to turn that volume down again, actually. One sec. Games is buffering. Yes, the sound's pretty much the way down. If I go ahead and actually I'll keep this world for now because it's kind of a review of everything. But also, I don't want to lose this seed. Nope, still that one. It's it's probably in there somewhere. I just can't find it currently. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of new skins which are based off the creators of the game. Achievements and advancements. Here we go. Is there any more in here? Yes, there is. As you can see, smithing with style, that is a new advancement / achievement because it involves the upgrades with armor trimming. You've also got decoration pots as well, so that's all cool and new, and that's new as well. Basically, we've got 3 new advancements or achievements so far. Then there's one more thing we need to check, and that is the fact of making worlds hardcore. There's no hardcore thing. Or is it in? And there's no hardcore. Oh, it may be because I'm on. Again, we'll keep that world. If I create a new world, just completely. I'm not. Actually, I will properly go on. If I just actually, what's on advanced? If I just create this world quickly, I'll delete it straight afterwards. But if I pop on here. If it isn't there yet, it's probably in experimental features like Spectator was for a while. Spectator's actually physically in the game now, which is super duper cool. You can look at things on the ground and verify around check the builds are working without actually placing or breaking anything, which is cool. And obviously if hardcore is actually on here, it will be amazing as well. But if it's just an experimental, that's also fine. It means you can still play it, and I probably will start a series at some point. But most likely, if I do start a hardcore series, it will be at the end of June, going into July, on mobile. If I go into settings, I should be able to see survival. No. It doesn't appear to be any sort of hardcore mode, which makes me think that it, yes, is indeed in the sort of experimental phase with features, or will be released at some point in one of the hotfixes or bug fixes. So what you usually get is 1.20.6 or 1.20.5 or 1.20.9 are basically hotfixes and bug fixes that go throughout the game. People have reported or they know about, because the update has just come out. And although they have checked it, there is still a chance that sometimes bugs and glitches and things can occur. because of all the new rules in the game. However, that's been it for me for today. I wish I could skip back to point. But yeah, that's been me for today. I really have enjoyed exploring all the new stuff in the 1.20 update so far. Obviously, they might add new stuff as well, as you mentioned before. They might add bugs here, so I will definitely check that out at some point. And I just cannot wait to get into survival and play around with all these features, as many as I can. Maybe collect every single thing as well. Yeah, it's been amazing. Add a lot to the world. It's going to make the game a lot more interesting, in my personal opinion. So hopefully you have enjoyed, and once again you can follow here on Twitch. I'm also on Instagram, TikTok and YouTube, all under the same name, same spelling, same icon as this account. And I urge you to check out YouTube, because if you are going to follow along with the survival series I do, which again there was an episode on Wednesday, which still should be on Twitch. Twitch streams for me stay up for 2 weeks, so again watch them while you can. But there's so much YouTube and stuff. Yeah, I urge you to check out the YouTube stuff, because it has a lot of context behind the world and some other things, and the storyline and the lore and that. So yeah. Other than that, I really again do hope you have enjoyed. Enjoy 1.20, the updates. Happy Pride Month as well. Again, be proud of who you are. Be yourself, and don't ever let anyone take that away from you. You are who you are. So yeah. But good evening, good morning. Good night, good day, good afternoon, and once again, in a bit, and goodbye. Like. Yes! Yes! Mm-hmm. Exactly what it says up there, yes! Oh, yes. Oh, a little bit. Yes. So I have actually been doing a lot of Welcome World, and I probably shouldn't have done this first, but my name is Sh4d0wCraft. I do a survival series, Sh4d0wCraft. This will